Who might be significant in 2026 and how are they going to impact your path forward? So in today's reading, we're really going to tune into the energy of a person who might play a very important role in your life this particular year. So this could be someone brand new, this could be somebody already circling your field, but what matters most is how they're going to influence your direction, your healing, or your purpose in 2026. So let's have a look at who they are, how you're going to recognize them, and the ripple effect that they might have on your journey. So the bottom of the deck, we have got the Knight of Cups, we've got the King of Swords, the Five of Swords, the World, and we have got the Death card. So this feels like it's someone who's entering your life during or just after some kind of major transition, either yours or within theirs. With the Death card and the World card, we're definitely seeing endings, we're seeing closures, and we're seeing the completion of a significant cycle. So this person, they might be tied to that transformation, either as a catalyst or a companion through it. So the Five of Swords, it does suggest that their presence might bring some sort of inner conflict or force you to reassess what's worth fighting for. So this is possibly someone who challenges your perspective. Yet the thing is, we have these beautiful King of Swords and this Knight of Cups together. So there is deep emotional energy here, truthful energy. So they might present a romantic or emotionally meaningful connection. This is someone who expresses affection, but they also have the capacity for emotional maturity here. So this is not superficial energy. So this person could very much impact your heart or something to do with healing and the way that you relate to love itself. So let's go through each of these cards in detail. So I think we're going to start here with this Death card, and what I want to say is how especially tender this particular depiction is. So unlike the traditional Death card, which really feels quite stark or grim, this version carries a very deep emotional softness. We can see that there is this small mouse and it's grieving over this decaying bird. There's this quiet moment of mourning. And you can see from the body of the bird, we can see that there are these white roses that are blooming. Now, if we look at the symbology of roses, they are symbols of love, and white roses specifically speak of purity or of reverence, or a kind of divine or maybe even unconditional love. So this particular card, it doesn't just speak about endings, it speaks about what is born through them. So there's this message here of beauty that is grown from sorrow, of love that is being carried forward even after something has ended. So in the context of this reading, it's very possible that the person who becomes significant in your 2026 story enters your life after or even because of a time of loss or letting go or some sort of emotional closure. So there's healing here. There's this profound emotional chapter that ends, but from it, there's something deeply pure and meaningful that is beginning to bloom. I really want to go and talk about this Knight of Cups next. So again, we see this little mouse. It could be the same little mouse, or at least a mouse that feels like a continuation. So this time it has a little white heart marking on its back, clearly symbolizing that innocent love that we had spoken about when we talked about these white roses. Now, what's especially striking in this card is this pumpkin or this gourd with these two glowing eye holes. It really gives that jack-o'-lantern appearance. So there's a light that's coming through, and this is suggesting illumination or presence or spirit, a kind of guiding force. So around it, do you see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little cups as well. Some of them are spilled, some of them are upright. And for those of you that are familiar with traditional tarot, this really reminds me of the Five of Cups. In a traditional Knight of Cups, there would only be one cup. Now, the Five of Cups, it talks about grief and regret or emotional loss, but is also one of hope and healing and reconciliation. So the blend of these two particular cards, it feels like this is someone who's known pain and maybe someone who's lost before, and yet instead of closing down, they're still searching. They're still feeling, they're still loving. So this particular Knight of Cups is a seeker of the heart, something that feels gently romantic. And in this particular deck, they carry not just charm, but they carry the emotional wisdom that has been earned through heartbreak. And in some ways, it almost feels like they've mirroring some sort of experience that you've also had. So just like this Death card, where we're being shown that this significant person this coming year might be entering your life after some sort of deep emotional transformation, it might mirror something within them. There's this softness to them, there's this quiet persistence, and there is a desire for a real soulful connection. Bringing us to our next card, we see the King of Swords, and in this deck, he's incredibly elegant. I think he's either like a small falcon or maybe even a hawk, but it's a bird that's very much known for precision and clarity and vision. They're wearing a crown, and they are perched on top of the sword, and this gives a strong impression of someone who's intellectually gifted, someone again who feels emotionally mature and is very capable of talking the truth. So in contrast to the tender card that we'd seen within the Death card and this little mouse in the Knight of Cups, this is someone who's really grown into their voice. And I think that they speak with a lot of honesty. They're able to express their emotions. So surrounding this bird, we can see that there's all of these books, and this maybe reinforces the idea that this person might be highly educated or deeply thoughtful or engaged in some sort of continuous learning. So they could be a writer or a teacher or a strategist or someone in a field that really values knowledge. So when we combine it with this Knight of Cups here, the swords of, the King of Swords energy suggests that there is both this emotional intelligence and this depth. And there's this grounded maturity and strong moral compass. It feels incredibly refreshing. So this could be somebody who's entering your 2026 life to bring a lot of clarity and truth, and maybe even help you voice things that you've long held within. This also could talk about the person coming through might carry air within their chart. The other thought that's coming to me is that there could be distance between the both of you. The idea that this is a bird flying long distance and then world could suggest, like I say, some sort of travel that could be at play here. Now, speaking of the World card, we can see once again, if I bring it close to you, that there is this little tiny mouse here curled up inside this green wreath. And you can see that this little mouse is resting peacefully. You can also see that there's a teeny tiny little firefly that glows beside them, again symbolizing that guidance, that illumination, and the divine timing that we had seen with this pumpkin or this gourd. So the other thing that I'm noticing here is the way that the ribbon, it looks like a figure eight, like the infinity symbol. So this could be talking about some sort of soul connection that maybe transcends lifetimes. It feels something sacred and ongoing. So traditionally, the World card is actually the last card in the major arcana. And it does mark completion, and it talks about mastery, and it talks about wholeness. Now, in this context, it really feels as if this person might arrive in your life at a moment when a significant soul cycle has been completed. Again, going back to the Death card, very much mimicking that. But it feels like this person is not here to test you. If you've had a lot of tests over the last few years, it feels like this person is coming in as some sort of a reprieve. And it feels almost like this person is going to be walking beside you, almost like as a reward, as a reflection, or as some sort of new chapter for you. So the imagery within this particular card, do you agree? It feels very peaceful. It feels like culmination. It feels like harmony. Everything that you've endured in your past has really led you to this moment. And this person's presence, it feels very reassuring. So it feels like their arrival is marked by this gentle, almost sacred shift into some sort of season of life. And to me, the World card has often reminded me of Christmas and of New Year's because of this wreath. So it could be someone who's just newly entered your life already, who is going to continue to play a significant part in 2026 for you. Now, this does bring in this Five of Swords. Now, one of the meanings that I always pick up on with the Five of Swords is leaving behind all people, all mindsets, all places that no longer serve your highest good. So the imagery on this card, again, it's very powerful. We can see that there's this solitary raven, and they appear to be on the chimney or a funnel of a ship and drenched in rain. And we can see there's these others that are flying in the distance. And there's this distinct feeling of, maybe grief or separation, and maybe this reflection. So it feels like this bird is choosing not to follow the flock. And that choice, it feels deliberate. And again, it mirrors the energy that we've seen both in the World card and in this Death card. There's an end of a chapter. There's this conscious decision to walk a different path. And this card, it almost speaks of some sort of necessary departure. Maybe where you've had to walk away from old patterns or relationships or environments. So the solitude here, it feels quite empowering. And it suggests that there is this maturity, or there is this clarity, and there is this transformation. So in the context of this reading, it really could show that this individual and you have outgrown old dynamics, and that part of their soul path has involved choosing a more aligned and authentic future, even if that has meant leaving behind comfort and familiarity. So it feels like this person is a very powerful mirror for your own evolution. I think that you've both weathered some very emotional terrain. There's been grief, there's been endings, there's been departures. So whether it's loss of other relationships or outdated mindsets, you've each really been called to release something in significant order to grow. And what's really left behind is this raw essence where everything's been stripped of any drama. There's no performance here. We had seen the white roses here growing from this decay. And again, we've seen this solitary mouse that's been kind of like following the light, or a raven that's choosing the solitude. And they all speak to some sort of love that is quietly resilient and deeply authentic. So this connection, it very much feels like there's this desire for peace, there's this emotional honesty, and there's this desire for unconditional love. So it feels like true and beautiful companionship that is happening in this particular next chapter. Now, of course, this is a collective reading, and if you would like your own private reading, then I have opened up same-day readings. I know that people have been waiting for a couple of weeks to get in for the same-day readings. There are only a couple that are available for today, but I very much look forward to putting them together for you. And I wish each of you such a blessed 2026.